DK, this is James, and we will bring to you the first day of FACEIT League Europe, actually.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And we have a team that I haven't seen on stream for a while, actually, and that is TSM. So we get the Danes back, the winners of our
champions
land.
running the gauntlet today. It's TSM versus rest of Europe, as they are going to be in every single match. What is our first match today, Dan?
They're going to be up against Flipsid to begin with on Inferno, and that's their choice against Flipsid. Then they're going to be against Envious, and that's going to be on Cash. And then they're going to be against Virtus Pro. That's going to be on Overpass. And I feel like TSM have a really wide and strong map pool, so I don't feel like there's any team can really surprise them. I've not seen them play much in the way of Cobble, but everything else, they look really good. So
let's have a look at the format just so you can see how things work here in the FACEIT League. So we've got 6 teams from North America, 8 teams from Europe, and 6 teams from Oceania in their respective leagues. North America and Europe have the home and away excuse me, system, which basically means that each team plays each other twice. The away team vetoes 2 maps in a particular match, and then the home team picks a map from the remaining 5. So both teams get an opportunity to do that against each other. In our finals, we will see 2 teams from North America, 1 team from Oceania, and 5 from Europe. Dan, it's Vulcan time.
Let's do it. Let's pick our dudes. We have 8 dudes to pick. But which dudes shall we choose?
Okay.
Well, so it would only make sense, of course. Like the maximum amount of players you can pick from one team is going to be TSM, and of course TSM is very, very likely they're going to win all the matches. Well, not very, very likely. I mean, they're playing against 3 pretty good teams, James. It's not likely at all. But I feel like it's probably a smart choice to
I think we could buy all of them, Dan.
To go with a bunch of. No, we can't buy all of them.
But why not? I know we can't. We
yeah,
literally can't buy all of them.
That's what the point I'm trying to make.
Is it a limit of 3 people?
3.
Oh man, because they're all affordable. We've got to get karrigan. He top fragged at LAN.
Okay. All right.
What bonus does he get for shot caller? I can't remember.
It's 25%, I think.
But on what? On
all the points
on his overall stats.
On all the points that they make.
Okay. All right. So who's next? I think it was karrigan, Device, and I want to say dupreeh, who were top 3.
Well, let's look at the maps. So Inferno, Cash, and Overpass. So I think, as you rightly said, karrigan is a guy that's going to be pretty much just able to perform pretty much on all the maps. And but as far as Inferno, players that stand out to me usually are people like Zipnix and cajunb actually for TSM. And Cash, I'm thinking more. That's like a kind of like an important device map. Overpass. I don't know. James, it's really hard. I think device has to go in there. I actually think device has to go in there.
He's the expensive one.
You can pick the next one.
He's the Manolo shoes, Dan. So you're basically saying dupreeh or cajunb.
I think.
I say dupreeh.
I think so. I think you can never overlook Zipnix, but yeah.
Wow, let's get Zipnix.
Okay.
Is that a new feature of Vulcan? I haven't seen it before, or haven't noticed it before.
It's a recent upgrade.
The points recently. Look at karrigan; he's off the charts with those points, and that's pretty nice. So, all right. So we got Virtus Pro, Flipsid, and Envy. I think we should go to Flipsid, Dan, because I think there's a man that we have to buy, and his name is Simple.
Well, hang on. The last time we saw them play Inferno with Flipsid, Simple was unable to be effectual.
Oh.
The thing is that if you think about his role as a dedicated AWPer, it's really fragile. It's volatile. Yeah, I think it's very volatile on this map. So I don't think that's a good choice, to be honest.
I would probably look personally between bondik and WorldEdit.
Yeah, I'd say bondik.
I think WorldEdit might be likely to get traded.
For me, bondik is like the surest of things.
Okay.
Because he's so consistent on racking up the frags, at least defensively. I agree with the bondik choice. So Envious now. Envious against TSM on Cash. Envious, we have to take like NBK, I think. Because on Cash, remember like how it was going yesterday. NBK was absolutely beasting on the entry fragging along with Kiyoshima.
Yeah, his role is a good role at the moment.
I think NBK and Kiyoshima are the 2 choices here for Envious on the Cash personally, from the way that we saw them playing it recently.
It's fine with me. Let's get Kiyoshima.
Okay. So we're starting to run out of Cash, but we've got 2
we
players
need Virtus Pro players.
Okay, so Virtus Pro. Let's jump onto Virtus Pro real quick. Okay, so we need to.
What map are they playing?
It's the Overpass. So it's unfortunate we can't get Pasha because Pasha's a pretty good performer on Overpass. News plays more support roles. Typically, it's
we could get Pasha and Taz, I think. No, we can't.
I don't think we can.
No, we can't.
No.
Bialy, let's get Bialy, Dan. Great.
Okay.
I'm glad you agree.
I actually think Neo is a fine choice.
Okay, let's get Neo.
Okay.
Done.
Okay, so it's got to be one of the TSM players. And in that case, should we just pick karrigan?
I'd say karrigan or device.
Let's go karrigan. Let's do it.
Right.
Loving some karrigan.
Let's go. So, what are we entering with this team?
What?
Oh, so we're entering 1v1, apparently.
Who are we up against?
I don't know, but some poor soul is going to get wrecked by
All
Team FACEIT, by FACEIT boys.
Team Bison.
Team Bison.
Okay, guys. So I think the teams are ready to start, so we should be kicking this off momentarily. So
just a quick reminder: what are we going to first?
TSM and Flipside tactics on Inferno. I feel like this should be a pretty convincing victory for TSM actually. From the ways that I think Flipside have a lot going for them. But I feel like Inferno's maybe a map that they are still figuring out because, of course, they switched around a lot of roles. And so we're seeing Simple on the up now. And from what we've seen, it's a very small sample size, so I don't want to leap to conclusions, but it did feel a little bit volatile. If they couldn't get the money going well on CT and they couldn't play with their proper setup, it looked like they were kind of struggling as to what to really do.
I don't think that the map necessarily lends itself to the strongest points of the Flipside team, obviously. You know, more open maps would definitely do that, so we'll have to see. But, you know, Flipside... It's their first foray into the FACEIT League, finally making it in. So we're going to see them for a number of weeks coming up. Again, a very dangerous team. But Inferno, I think, is probably a good pick against them, considering the map.
Oh, yeah.
TSM being the home team, I'm presuming.
Yeah, they are indeed. The only match that's not home match for them today is actually the Envious one, and Envious chose Cash. So that's pretty cool. But just Envious at the moment, to me, are just like the most interesting team because they're always a team that I was always preaching that because a lot of people would look at them and think, oh, you know, TSM just a bunch of aimers that are abusive, basically just abusing the game. And
TSM or Envy?
TSM, sorry, Envy, sorry. And so as soon as you actually have a situation where they need to adapt or their style isn't working or they can't abuse the aim or whatever, then we have a situation where maybe people are thinking, oh, well, you know, they're going to get wrecked. But if in reality they're just doing what worked, in reality they've got a guy who took a team that was basically a bunch of guys that didn't have a lot of individual skill compared to... They weren't tier 1 individual players, basically. He took them to a semi-finals of a major. And that was through strategies. And we're seeing like some of a return of those kinds of strategies, but...
Let's open a case right now. Let's open a case right now.
But the strategies actually have more of a... less of an executional and rehearsed element and more of a rush-down coordination element.
So, Dan, people have sent in 300 cases. So I bought a number of keys. So we're just going to open cases for no apparent reason. Let's open a Bravo case. Get the CSGO key. Open the CSGO key. Oh, yes. We've got Bravo cases, people. These one we had to buy. So one person sent in a Bravo case. Oh, an oomph. Of course, Dan. What else would it be? All right, let's go back into the game. See what is going on with these last players. So, 2 versus 2.
Oh, the shoes are off again.
Yeah. Hopefully GoTV gets fixed soon. The sweet silent sound of swiping. And now bondik has to force the issue.
It's so weird with no running noise. Okay, so TSM can start CT, which is nice for them. And this is really dangerous actually for Flipside because Flipside are going to have to show a pretty awesome T start because I would assume that TSM are going to have a pretty darn strong CT side, to be honest. They're a team that's been together for ages. They're a team that have well-defined roles. They've been doing this for a long time. It's always been a good map for them. Always been a pretty consistent map for them. And so you would imagine that that's going to be an issue for Flipside, not getting that CT start underway. So, well, it's Inferno. You never know. But would be expecting something like, with this start, something like 16-8 or something. I feel like it's going to be a landslide. What do you think?
Well, we know that Flipside are definitely changing things up internally. So the question is, like, how much do we have? Like, I don't know what approach they're going to have. Dan, that's the thing. It's hard for me to even get words out right now. But I don't know what Flipside what their approach is going to be on the T side here. Because I'm expecting, or maybe hoping, I don't know which one, that it's going to be different to what we've seen before. So maybe they can put out a surprise here. And again, like you can see Markelov AWPing right now, and we do know that Markelov will AWP if he feels it. And again, this map may not lend itself to simple strengths like other maps may do. WorldEdit will, I imagine, might be the better choice for a defensive AWPer, maybe? It depends.
Yeah, but
there are so many options with the AWP here across the three players.
Yeah, but they've recently said we want Simple to be a dedicated AWPer, which we're trying that out. That's like what they've been doing. So
yeah, but from the matches we've witnessed, there have been certain situations where WorldEdit has still taken the primary AWP. So I think in certain situations, I don't remember exactly from memory, but I specifically remember it happening. I think if the style better suits WorldEdit for a stronger team, then they'll do that. That's what the impression I'm getting from what we've seen.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen actually. I think Simple's going to be AWPing Arch, and I think it's going to go wrong, James. But we've got a pistol on the way, so hopefully for Flipside, they're going to be able to get a good economy here, because they're definitely the underdogs in this matchup, for sure. There's no doubt about that. So they need that good economy to just keep the CTs at arm's length to begin with. And looks like cajunb will find a long-range frag, and that is what the CTs are always looking for. Sometimes teams actually smoke mid to prevent that, like from CT spawn, actually, to prevent those quick picks down mid. But it's going to be one for cajunb. And now he's fallen back to a very defensive spot, because they're like, well, we have an advantage. And Flipside looking to make their way in. Nade's going over here for Flipside. And in they go indeed. Device almost getting killed there. Can he escape in time? Ooh, good entry there from Simple, and they might just be able to do this after all. Yeah,
that pit position is still going to be difficult. They're going for the wrap. WorldEdit's going to try and hold things down, stop a rotation, and TSM in an awkward position. They will know what's going on, however, because of that pit player. The rotation has been shut out for the moment. karrigan is going to be on biggest rotation EU, and he's going to be the last one standing. Simple getting a nice dink there with a picked up USP. So, karrigan versus 3. He doesn't have a kit. There might be one somewhere on the map. But he is running out of time to find it. Running out of time very fast indeed. 1 versus 3, no kit. That's a good start. But he really needs to find these frags super quick. We've got one person running distraction in library. It will be the bait. karrigan opting for the knife, but bondik eventually finds the kill. So a good start by Flipside. And it should guarantee them at least a few rounds before the buy comes in from TSM.
Yeah, it's going to be quite important that they keep this this money rolling in. I wonder what kind of anti-eco strat they're going to go for here. They got a couple Molotovs, so that's really, really nice to see. Again, I really like it when teams go for the multiple Molotov approach on the B-bomb site, because you can actually clear so many positions safely from the banana. And banana, the pistols can't really challenge it easily, so it's kind of a given. So might see something like that. We've got again a couple Molotovs, Markelov and bondik.
Yeah, we've got some hardcore baiting going on here as well. And the good thing is that TSM seems to have a solid eco strategy here. Or force buy, should I say.
The thing is that TSM have opted to go for that full force buy. And they weren't always a team that would do that. They were one of the few teams that didn't always do that, because they would always want to have more money when they actually get to the buy round, assuming that, hey, our chances to win the pistol round is pretty low, we shouldn't invest fully into it. And this is a map where you really do need to make it count if you go for pistol armor. It's more important than other maps because it's so much harder to play without nades as the CTs on this map. And so they have to get damage in here in the following round. That's the investment. So there's pressure on that now for TSM.
Now, Flipside, 40 seconds remaining. And again, this is a common situation one we've seen quite a few times in the past week, where the T's are not necessarily leaving themselves enough time to actually push a site and get a plant down. 30 seconds down. It seems they're going to commit to, well, I'm not sure, because the bomb still isn't moving. They're just teasing. So 20 seconds now, and they still haven't pushed a site. This is not a good setup here for the T's. It's not a good setup at all.
This could be very problematic. They're going to get fast frags. Right now, the 5-7s will be removed slowly but surely, so they will get the bomb planted. But that could have been really, really messy. We have seen that backfire a lot of times recently, and it's going to be... well, it would look like a decent round here for Flipside. They've lost only one man. They should try not to challenge, I think, these players. Because it's going to be very hard to find a frag on them with the remainder on the clock at the moment. And so you kind of want to stop damage being done by TSM, because that's kind of what they've played for. They've played for that big investment to get the damage. And if they get kills and the kill reward from that as well, that really helps them as well to eke out those extra grenades when it does come time to buy. So next round they only have to worry about an MP7 and a 5-7. Oh, but they will actually lose WorldEdit to cajunb. So extra damage done by TSM there, which is very nice for them.
Yeah, that's an important $600. I wonder when we're going to see another Death by Kitty skin in the game.
Oh yeah.
Imagine that, an M9 bayonet. Death by Kitty, that'd be amazing. But anyway. So TSM with an opportunity to make some cash here. And we've seen some insane things on eco rounds from CTs recently. We saw a 4-man with a 5-7 on, was it Cash yesterday? Yeah. Last night?
Well, the thing is here is that WorldEdit died to an MP7 and dropped the MP7. So now there's 2 MP7s on TSM. That was kind of a disaster. It's one of the reasons why it was very risky to actually push there, because this works out very well for TSM. karrigan lining up a shot here. Going to take down Markelov, get the extra $600. And this is a round where they shouldn't have any investment at all, James. But they got 2 MP7s and 2 armors left over and the 5-7. So they actually have, it's almost as if they bought again this round, but they didn't invest anything here.
Yeah, the game is changing in front of our eyes with these weapons in there. Recoil adjustments and money bonuses. Flipside opting for a fast push in towards B bomb site. And they have significantly smoked the site out, trying to avoid that exact thing from happening there. But it's going to happen anyway. cajunb going to get a frag. Zipnik's getting taken out. So 3 versus 2. Make that a 2-on-2. We've got AKs all over the place, and Flipside will have to retract into the site to protect each other. But that will mean that maybe dupreeh can pick up an AK here. Indeed he does, and now the game is really on.
Yeah, he's actually got a pretty sick engagement here if they peek him, and he gets kind of lucky in where his crosshair is at that moment. So you can see them just bathing and teasing, playing the heat and body setup more or less, and dupreeh won't get anything here, but he can keep them both on the bomb site and ensure that they both die. And that's actually, it'd actually be better at this point for them to just go for the frag here and try to get away, because they need to keep something alive, and dupreeh's going to get 2 extra kills, and I don't think he can get away. Oh, no, he won't. But the amount of damage they did, James, was absolutely absurd. And they got so many frags with the MP7s that their money is way better than it should be. And you can see that despite all the extra damage they did, they still don't have full buys of nades. So had Flipside not given away the MP7 and you know, created this really awkward situation on that last round, this would look way better for them. But TSM already setting up, already postured to actually take control back of the match. So Flipside need a strong result in this round.
Okay, you've got a super fast push down banana from TSM. Presumably there is a smoke in place, as you've got karrigan and Zipnik's playing in the area. And they're going to swap around and leave Zipnik's further up with the FAMAS. So just in case he falls, they want to give the T side an inferior weapon, but it doesn't really matter as they've got 5 AKs themselves. But Device going to be the first one to go down. Trade coming in from dupreeh onto Simple. But Flipside seem to be moving quite fast, actually. They've got good control of the quad area. However, there is somebody in the pit for them to find. dupreeh finding more frags. cajunb as well, essentially making a crossfire. And that looked like a quite easy cleanup at the end.
If we consider the amount of damage that's been done, this is what happens. They got no money left to buy with. They actually will have 1900 after losing this one. So even with that situation, the money is still not that good for them to have a proper buy. Markelov and bondik are going to be on Galils, so we'll see at least 2 Galils in there. And TSM got such a clean round here. We'll see them stick on the FAMAS for Zipniks and have full grenades to play with. So they're still keeping it defensive because they realize, hey, you know what? They're playing with pistols. Let's just use the solid natural choke points to our advantage and get a clean round here. And I would expect them to start playing aggressive on banana once Flipside start buying up again, which should be in the following round. But it will be a bit of a... won't be the best buy in the world. And, well, first frag goes in for Device there as they challenge into him. And he will smoke them off now, so not feeling confident about running through that one. I don't blame them. Ooh, I think Device just saw his head pop up there because of the boost. As I'm not sure what they were going for there, and they're dropping the bomb as well, which actually made him peak in the first place. So a bit of shenanigans here, allowing some easy kills towards TSM. And they are soon to clean this one up. Just played the in-game leader of Flipside, who remains now. And he's a PT-50. He's been a bit of a menace with that thing lately, but nothing this round.
So TSM catching up very quickly indeed. And those were 2 very clean rounds by them, which will be important for their economy going forward. Zipnik's still rocking the FAMAS, which just shows you how little damage they have taken in these rounds since their first buy. So Flipside not going to get the buy in this time, just the pistols, 2 flashes and a smoke. We'll see if they have any specific use with an execute. Chickens will die.
So yeah, they indeed actually go for that double eco, which is kind of nuts. It makes sense from the perspective that they feel like, hey, well, we can't actually do anything to the economy of TSM now because they got 2 fully clean rounds. So it's not like if we go for a buy now and kind of force it up with you know, not many grenades and some Galils, that we even going to be able to force them to an eco. So let's just play for our own economy instead of their economy and see what we can make happen. That's a scary situation to be in because, again, we'll start to see TSM with so many options with all the utility that they have, and a team of such prestige and worth as TSM will always be dangerous in that kind of position. We see a simple kind of a little late out of the gates there.
I can only assume, Dan, he was checking his VK or his trade offers. I sent him a Bison the other day. I don't think he accepted it. Which means I'll send him another one. And another one. Until he accepts that. One day he will accept.
Spreading the Bisons. Spreading the love.
I have a lot of Bisons now.
Okay, so we have so much cash on TSM now. Another clean round. Now we have double AWP. That is nuts.
AWP.
That is crazy for T-side Inferno.
This is juicy.
This is like desperation play. Surely.
Is it a case of this gonna be good, or is it a case of this gonna be bad?
I don't know. We'll have to see.
The thing is, like, if TSM peak, there's a fair chance they're going to be in trouble here. 2 AWPs. It's like nothing is safe when you're up against 2 AWPs on the T side. But again, it is very rarely. It's you don't even see 1 AWP that often. So, you know, again, we said that this map didn't really play to Flipside's biggest strengths, but looks like they intend it to anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's very risky because it's very hard to push the choke points. Had TSM actually gone for the deep banana play with the incendiaries and smokes, there then becomes... Oh my god, that was received pretty...
Money.
Yeah, that was... He caught that in the mouth.
So do you think the AWP is down, Dan?
Well, we'll have to see what they go for here. Bondik's got a smoke there for the CT spawn, I believe.
Yeah. And there it is, WorldEdit finding another frag. So it's 1 person over towards B-bomb site. You can see the Molly's coming in for new box. Move the smoke for CT. Zipnik's isolated all alone in a cold place. Only some barrels for comfort. No flashes coming in though from the Flipside team, but they know where he is and they will eventually get the trade. So it's a 3 versus 2. No more smokes for the Flipside team, although with the AWP then maybe they'll want those balls open.
Nice incendiary there for the new box, and that's going to force Bondik out to just peek, but nobody there to really frag him as he's exposed in the open. But they do keep tossing in those nades, and Device will pick up the kill onto Bondik, leaving cajunb alone. He's going to go and find the quick frag onto WorldEdit. Knows where Markelov is. Oh, he's going to pop his head there by pull, and he will get that defuse. So that was a huge investment from Flipside. Hey, they've lost quite a few rounds in a row here now, though. So, you know, 4 in a row. So
I feel like Bondik...
And they got the bomb down as well, so they'll still have lots of money to play with, but they can't get double AWPs again.
I feel like Bondik should have been... Well, I wonder if he should have been spraying the smoke. Quite often you'd see people just firing into the smoke relentlessly, although maybe because his position was a bit exposed because of the Molotov, maybe he didn't want to reveal where he was standing. But, you know, often in matches you'll see people just firing into the smoke constantly to harass anybody on the other side. But that was an unfortunate 3 versus 2 that the Flipside team lost there. And again, it was an expensive one as well.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is about the double AWP is that the AWPs are hard to use because you've got to try to peek into choke points. And that's usually, it's hard unless you're really good at AWPing. Unless you're a really, really good AWPer, it's very difficult to do that consistently. Simple and WorldEdit are definitely very good AWPers. But when we saw Simple get that peek on Boiler, that's an angle that usually you'll sit there with a rifle as a CT player, spotting the angle, and you will die if there's an AWPer peeking that, because from the T side, because you don't expect it, and it's such a big advantage, because you can just peek, almost pre-fire the angle on it, basically, because everyone knows the angles, so you just pre-fire the angle, and you'll probably get a kill, as we saw happen there. So one of the counters to that we see is sometimes they'll actually, if they feel like a team is playing more of an AWP-based style, they'll actually, and if they're playing more defensively on our apartments, the CTs, they'll actually have their AWPer start the round out towards quad side and not really show himself. So sometimes we see that, and that can actually, then you win that duel against the AWPer, then the T's start to get in a bit of a hard place because they lost their basically their main pick player. So it's a very, very risky style, I think. And we saw that even after the bomb went down, they couldn't hold the site. So, and And that buy from TSM, they kept that going. They didn't reinvest. They just kept it going from like round 3.
Yeah.
So they got so much money to play with. Now we might see the AWPs from them. Now what does T-side do against the AWPs of the CTs?
Yeah. On the plus side, it was an expensive round, so at least they're starting to make the CTs spend some money. Still early days here, but there's a lot of money for the CTs left
definitely.
to spend. And you know, in a way, they will save money if they pick up one of those AWPs as well.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what TSM will do with their CT size, because they have a lot of money to play with. So it depends, because again, I feel like they're really good at the aggressive banana play, so I'd like to see that at some point. We probably will at some point. It's inevitable, I think. But we might even see some mid pushes from them. So far, they've just been really passive and very reactive. That can be a very good style to play against a team which you're not sure about, but you feel like they're a worse team. So if you're up against Fnatic, you might not want to play that style, because then you're letting Fnatic play, and Fnatic won't really make many mistakes, if any at all. But if you're playing a team that you think is actually quite a lot worse than you, then which TSM might feel about Flipside, you know, you'll actually try to play a default setup and see if they'll make mistakes that you can just capitalize on, because then you don't have to actually try to be fancy or try to play any risky games. You just let them make mistakes and just punish. So that can be a nice approach, and I think that's why they're playing so passively. They're just trying to feel out Flipside a little bit and see how they're going to actually play. And we saw a double AWPs coming out. When would you ever expect that? Straight away from the T's.
Bit scary. So we have a short pause here. I think, Dan, we should open some more cases.
Okay. I saw that you bought a lot of keys.
This is the ultimate time killer. Let's open some cases, of which we have many. So yeah, we had something like 330. I don't know what cases. But we're gonna not just open cases, we're gonna spin the wheel. Okay, so the way it works, you have something to say there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I never actually looked at the graphic before, but it's just on the wheel. It's just like Bison question mark. Bison.
The way the wheel works, the red is for subs, and the black.
The way the wheel works,
everyone.
is that the match just went live.
Also, the match just went live, but I don't know if that means this. Anyway, here we go. We're gonna spin, and this is for the next giveaway. Chroma.
Oh, nice.
So we will open. I think we'll open 3 chroma cases. So after the map 1, we'll do a raffle that will be open to everyone. We'll do 3 chroma cases for whoever wins, and you'll get the best item. Unless it's crap, then you'll get nothing. That's all.
And no one ever gets anything, basically.
Yeah. We just spin the wheel. No one gets prizes, basically. Although Bonga's in his absence, he wasn't even here.
Yeah.
But he won an AK.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there we go. So I've decided what the prizes are also for 600k.
We already decided. Well,
more,
okay.
more, Dan, more.
Oh, more.
Yeah. So we're doing.
Jeez.
We're doing. Oh, apparently we have an overlay for it. Mr. Producer Reese has been busy.
Isn't the match live?
Boom. Well, we're on a delay, so it's catching up.
Oh, okay.
Two Dragon Lore attempts for subscribers. A Stat Track AK-47 Aquamarine Revenge, which is not factory new, and nice. A lovely Bayonet Blue Steel, which will be open to everyone. I think it's a field-tested Aquamarine Revenge, but it looks minimal wear, guys. Promise. Okay, so we are back into the game. Flipside going for 5 AKs now, so they've eked out the buy after losing the round. That bomb plant will have come in handy there. Although I'm sure they will feel like they should have won. But they've lost. So TSM take the lead here, 4 rounds to 3. And TSM have had some aggressive peeks down mid from Device. When Flipside were on eco, he just had a look down, shot someone in the head, looks away, and he's just having a look there. So they seem to have a timing as to when they want to peek down mid and see what's going on. Obviously, presuming that they're on an AWPs in play, because who would want to do that against Flipside when they have 1 or 2 AWPs?
Yeah, so maybe we have an execute coming in at some point in the next 20 seconds from Flipside, because there is 50 seconds left on the clock. They've got apartments control. They haven't taken mid away yet. And TSM, they've got 4 players on A actually, without actually having the info towards Banana. But what they are doing is smoking it from Arch so that they can give Zipnix extra delay. and nothing's going to be coming there. So this actually is a nice way to do this, and the mid push comes in, and TSM are not going to give this up all too easily, actually. They have fun. Look how funneled they are at the moment, moving through towards quad, but TSM know exactly where they are. They have to hit the shots, and we are going to have a nice entry frag there from Simple, but it's going to be 4 frags in a row there for TSM, as the time is only 10 seconds left to even plant the bomb at that point, and it feels like Flipside, firstly, acted too slowly, and secondly, felt a little bit like they didn't have a good plan there.
Yeah, it seems they are being read by TSM, having 4 people over towards the A site, and then they were not giving up any real estate. That you had Device, he was just holding the cubby hole there for a second player near library. So they had a solid 2-2 setup on either side of the A site with that smoke coming in for Xyp9x, and based on the timing, I presume that they thought it was going to be an A. So Flipside being shut down once again. That's an early peak for Xyp9x. This time he has support should he require it.
One of the cool things there in that run as well is that because TSM were able to play 4 guys towards A, they were always able to kind of peek into middle, so they never needed to use smokes. Because if you're actually trying to peek and challenge a little bit in mid, you're delaying your usage of smokes. So then what we saw was smokes actually going onto banana from TSM with 30 seconds left, James. That means that when the smoke actually disappears on banana, there's like 10 seconds left, because it's, they lost with like 17-18 seconds. So there's like 10-12 seconds left for you to actually go in and push the site, unless you want to go through the smoke. So then they're just sitting on A with 4 players because they're not forced to use the smoke sooner.
See, who's warping now?
What is it?
Exactly.
T side. The T side or what is it? Yeah, I mean, we see that though sometimes here from their overpass game, because Simple seems to be way more dedicated on the CT side, it would seem.
I think
they want him entering with AKs.
I feel like styles are involved. And yeah, we saw him, was it?
It's CT side, I think that is the difference.
Okay, we'll find out as this goes on. But for now, it's another solid hold from TSM. They've got 2 frags in so far, and the push from Flipside has pretty much come to a halt. And again, you've got dupreeh just standing on top of mid, large and in charge, having all the information that his team need to not get a rotating. bondik over towards Paul, but they may not be expecting a 3rd player here in CT. And indeed, that 3rd player is going to get all the frags. TSM dominating Flipside at the moment. So far, so good for the side. After losing the pistol, they haven't lost a single round. Definitely a champion's performance at the moment.
Yeah, again, it's very, very telling that they are just playing really standard and basic CT play, actually. Thinking about it, if you're a team that's, if you're part of a team and you're looking to understand how to play CT side Inferno, you should start with looking at how TSM are playing in this match. You should start because they're just using some very simple basics, very simple mix-ups. They're not playing aggressively, so they're not really playing in a complex way. They're just keeping it very, very normal and letting Flipside make mistakes against them. The thing to note as well is when they're using their grenades, and try to understand what is prompting them to use them and why they can afford not to use them in certain spots. Because that is really, really important here, because we're seeing very, very perfect smoke timings from TSM, and it's something that Flipside need to try to pressure them away from, force them to use poorer smoke timings, or force them into poorer engagements somehow, but they're not able to do that so far.
Yeah, even now, there's less than a minute on the clock, and TSM still have 2 mollies and 3 smoke grenades.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so they are indeed using these really well. And you can see the advantage that's coming out for them. So, Device is going to be smoked off with WorldEdit's AWP, and Flipside will advance into the area. Xyp9x using that pillar to his advantage. Going to get some information that there was an attempt for the push. Markelov going to allow his teammates to run distraction. That gives him a little bit of control, but they need to find a pit player, and Markelov will get him down as well. Traded by Device. 3 versus 1 now. Blade gets the bomb plant down, which will end up being a consolation, as once again, the entire Flipside team have been eliminated by the champions TSM.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's so much about. I think this would be such a good game to study from the perspective of the question I posed previously. How is it that TSM are able not to afford not to use their smokes and incendiaries until such a late time period, and how are they able to safely accomplish that? Because that's usually the dynamic of Inferno. Like that's because usually you'll throw the smoke down because you're kind of scared of getting peeked. You're kind of scared of a push, but they're handling that very well somehow against Flipside. Now it could be a lack of pressure from Flipside, but I guess we'll see if Flipside start to understand or start to put a response out here to change that. Because that is the first step here. Force them to use some more grenades, and get a better. That will allow your push to be stronger, and when it eventually does come.
So again, lots of mollies here for TSM. And again, 3 smokes still in the bag as we approach the 1 minute mark. Flipside have had no success following the force in the eco from TSM. With 3 people over towards Banana. They've got to be careful because you can see the sneaky position karrigan is in, and Blade is not going to check the corner properly. Trade coming in from WorldEdit, but Flipside doesn't look like they're going to play on it just yet. Markelov smoking off the arch area, but TSM are non-believers, with a second player heading over towards the B bomb site. If they can get the opening onto B, the rotation will be long from the remaining A players, who will be aware of that. And you do have a player moving into arch, but he needs to be careful for the wrap as well. So, looks like the push is going to come in here from Flipside.
And we've got cajunb just large and in charge up on the course there, picks up a kill and then falls back away safely. That is beautifully done. Another distraction comes in from a teammate. They look away, and cajunb goes up on top of the course again when they're distracted, and the rest of the lineup, apart from Simple, is cleaned up. So again, it is almost like a no-show from Flipside. They cannot find a solution here for the defense of TSM, which again, if you look at it, it's just very, very smart but very simple. Very, very good basic play. So Flipside struggling, and this is why I felt it was very important for them to start on CT side, because I was afraid that TSM got the money rolling, that their CT side would be very, very strong. And against Flipside, they're not even deeming the plays, they're not even considering playing aggressively, because why would they have to play aggressively? That's something you want to try to do against a team I think that you think is as good as you individually, or is it a team that you want to take risks against because you feel that they're as good or maybe even better than you. So they're just playing a safe game that, well, where the better team should shine, basically. I was listening to Thorin's podcast with Daze yesterday. Daze was saying, you know, he likes his players not to overcommit, like get a kill and fall back, even if they're low health. There's much more utility in them having low health and being alive than overextending and being dead. And we're seeing that from TSM at the moment. 4 versus 4. WorldEdit picks up an AWP actually. He's going to miss the first shot, but with his teammates applying pressure, he will find a frag. But there's going to be a second player in the pit for Flipside to contend with, and that will get the work done. Only bondik remaining with Detect 9. Down up against 2 at the moment. And dupreeh will fish and find himself a carp with that 5-7. Another round in the bag. 10 rounds in a row here for TSM. Yeah, I think what did I say, 16-8? I think it might even be surprising to see that at this point, if this momentum continues as it is. But we see double up again from Flipside, and it does still feel like a little bit of a desperation play in some senses, because it's very hard and risky to pull it off. But they are in that kind of territory where they need shotgun or they need some desperation. WorldEdit will go for the pick towards Car, and karrigan's actually stuck behind the wooden plank there. And it's likely that we'll see Simple peeking Boiler again with his AWP, as that is a very good pick. And karrigan's not moving at all. They don't expect him necessarily to be there. You never see players here because it's just so risky to just put someone there. Like, why would you do it? This guy's committed, so... Yeah,
he was in sandbags last time, which is where WorldEdit was just looking for him. So karrigan, he's just dominating
that's so
the map at the moment. The mind games.
Yeah, that really is, because that's a position where you shouldn't play, in theory, because in theory it's horrendous that you're horrendously committed and you can't escape, and you can just get wallbanged to death. So you never expect good players, I'm using air quotes there, to actually do it, and that's why it's strong in a battle of top teams.
karrigan's playing poker right now.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. So they lost 2 players. They've lost both AWPers, so you can see Simple and WorldEdit both trying to create opportunities for Flipside with their AWPs, and neither of them were able to do so. Last time it was only Simple that could. This time it's looking even worse for them in that sense. So now they've got 3 players left, and they have no map control again. I mean, Banana is for free, but there's also 30 seconds left. So TSM, there's no point for them to challenge map control at this point. So the push is going to come in through the smokes. Can they get a good entry here? But they're so blind here. The pop flashes were just perfect. The counter grenades, perfect. Always just a wealth of grenades to be used defensively here for TSM, no matter the time on the clock.
This pick is looking like a master stroke by TSM. Flipside looking lost at the moment, and you know, the examples we're seeing purely from karrigan shows that they have Flipside's number.
Absolutely.
That number is currently 11.
Yeah, this is one of the most difficult maps, I think, against a really strong team who really know their CT side very, very well. Because how do you break it? You have to do a lot of things well. And at the moment, Flipside are not able to do a lot of things well so far. Against TSM at least. Their individual skills, all of the players for TSM are so high. We're seeing Device pick up 2 kills as they challenge into mid early in the round. Now they're going to go for an aggressive banana play in the very, very last round with just 1 player. 4 players swarming towards the A site here for the Danes. And it will be the end of the first half there. 12-3, very, very strong. TSM never looked to be in trouble. And equally, Flipside never looked like they had an answer for what that basic setup that was done to perfection from TSM.
Yeah, so we will see what they can do in the second half. Again, the pistol's going to be crucial. They did well in the first pistol, but now they find themselves, well, in what could be a stronger position, although pistol is a pistol after all. We'll see what TSM's execute will be. Just a standard setup so far from Flipside, 3 over to A and 2 towards B. TSM with early presence up banana with 4 players in fact, and 1 over towards second mid. Just keeping an eye on map control, making sure there's no flanks. They're crazy business. Keeping the options open here for TSM.
So first Get Right, and then BK, and now Markelov with the Julies, trying to make a name for himself.
Get Right's doing it for his country, damn it.
Hey, well, gonna see if Markelov can pick up some kills here with the Jewel Berettas Marina.
And he's got the Swedish flag out as well. But he's definitely not from Sweden, so he's going for the... well, got to get himself 1 frag at least.
It's not going too horrendously here for TSM. They're 2 against 1 now. bondik going to find himself alone. And they don't have the bomb down just yet, but there's plenty of time. And there it is. Xyp9x will be covered behind. And oh no, he's going to go down here, but the bomb will be planted, so that's the guaranteed money. And dupreeh falls to bondik as well, so very well done by bondik there. He will save Flipside, but that bomb plant means almost immediate pressure back onto the economy of Flipside. So they can't really make the money of... because this is like a huge difference actually, because usually you would say, okay, buy some MP7s, you know, get yourself some loads of cash from the full eco here. But it's actually quite risky now, because in 1 round, TSM, unless they force up here, which they won't, they're going to have AKs. And you're going to have MP7s, James.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Well, bondik's knife has an apt name called Hope. And there is a glimmer of hope for Flipside, but again, they're going to need to... See, that's good play by bondik. He spots the information. He's going to get the hell out of there. Apps is actually a very dangerous position for a CT if there's somebody walking down with a P250 or a Tech 9. So he will back up and put more range between them. Play to his advantages, his strengths, their weaknesses. Simple holding down arch, got to get a 2-man spray down. See the bomb as well, which will force a rotation from Markelov over towards A, as he will no longer be required towards B. cajunb, last man, and nobody dead here for the CT side, which is very important. A mirror of what we saw almost for TSM in the early rounds.
No kills for the MP7s though, and you can see that they, what are they? Guess no kills the MP7, just buys of hammers now. So that investment was completely wasted.
Yep.
It was completely wasted. That's a really horrible situation, to be honest, because they're going to need all the money they can get. So they need to clean around here. They really do. And TSM into the challenge on banana already. Nice dink though. Oh, the flames will burn away your device. So they're going to try to take over banana aggressively with only a couple Molotovs, but they're kind of weirdly spaced, but it will still work out. And WorldEdit will pick up the kills with the FAMAS. That's exactly how they needed to start this one. Good stuff by Flipside here.
Okay, so again, they've taken no damage at all. This is really important going forward. And Simple coming out, but he's not going to get the first frag. Gets taken down immediately. Only Xyp9x remaining, however, and the bomb is on the floor, so it's going to be a question of how much damage he can do. And again, this damage will be important. Spotted the shoulder of someone. bondik holding the little cracks. He will see Xyp9x as well. Xyp9x getting tapped to 55. And Flipside will move into position accordingly. That they're not going to get much done. bondik still holding the angle, but that will allow him to be the bait. Xyp9x though looking for the traders straight away, trying to spray through the smoke, trying to do more damage. And that time will just be ground down with smoke grenades. Although isn't it trying to make a wall of smoke? Maybe to suggest an approach to the bomb. He's finding yet more frags. 2 people remaining now. There's not enough time for him to pick up the bomb and plant. But it's a bit of an awkward situation for Flipside. Eventually losing 3 players to the remaining TSM.
Yeah, I actually feel like the optimal play there, because this is a spot where you want to kill 2 players minimum, and if you can kill a 3rd one, that's like a really big bonus. Because now you're forcing out drops. We already know that WorldEdit had to just instantly rebuy a FAMAS in that round. So the money on Flipside is kind of crap, to be honest, considering that their situation. So if he could have after the 3rd kill just run away with the AK, that would have been really sick actually. Really nice save. But they got some pistols into this round, and we'll see what they can do with it. So it's probably going to be difficult here for them to get much damage if Flipside played this defense well. But we shall see. Smacked down there by Simple. Gonna be very careful here. Now this is we need to make sure that we need to not see any crazy shenanigans from Simple. Sometimes we see him running into pistol guys with his AWP.
Maybe he's gone to an extremely passive position. In fact, he's almost rotated all the way over to quad to give support from a diagonal position across the site, in fact.
Yeah, this is nice from Simple. Keeping it chilled. Not taking any risks. Absolutely the appropriate approach here. And they are going to challenge his angle very, very shortly. There it is. There is the first flick. There is the next player. And they are keeping them at arm's length. And that's exactly what you want to do. And it should not be more than the 1 kill now. Zipnix is 2 HP. In comes the next player, and it will be Markelov to finish off Zipnix. So really nicely done by his Flipside. That will give them a bit of breathing room, and very, 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 very needed around there.
It's nice how fast Simple's reactions were. He spotted the player run past, and he wanted to take the shot, but he waited because he didn't think he was going to hit it. He moved too fast. And I think a lot of people would have pulled the trigger there and then maybe been in a sticky situation where potentially the guy can run into CT spawn or otherwise. So, very nice play. But it's still early days here. 5-round deficit to catch up on. Oh, that should definitely been a kill, but he's going to tag cajunb through the corner of the wall. He will survive with his tail between his legs. And now TSM will have the information that Flipside are willing to peek in mid, whether they have a buy or not.
Yeah, that's actually quite an interesting thing here, because there is no AWP. So that's kind of why Simple challenged there. I think that he presumed that they would not be able to afford one, or they would not play with one this early into the second half. So he had a free peek there, and this is what we're talking about. That peek with on Boiler with the AWP is so strong on either side, and that is why your AWP and quads can be so powerful sometimes. And now after the first kill and the tag, they can play a defensive setup. They got the man advantage overall, and even on the bomb sites if they counter flash correctly. And they do have some good amount of nades left. Flipside should be fine here.
That's a nice jump from karrigan. He's going to take minimal damage, and he is already on the rotation through construction. So this is going to be a cleared out site very soon indeed. He might not even be required. Looking to find the remaining player, WorldEdit, who gets traded on the B bomb site. So Flipside didn't see that until it was all too late. Great play by karrigan once again. Simple coming in for the Rambo. He hasn't seen the player right next to him in the barbecue area. He's going to miss the shot onto cajunb. Blade's going to pick him up, presumably from the CT spawn, as Zipnix is holding construction. So just huge aggression coming in there from Simple, trying to duel an AK with the AWP, and that's not going to work out for him, but it's still a 2 versus 2, and he's forced them back into construction, so this might actually pay off a Flipside. Defuse coming in, karrigan needs to be identified. He's going to find a spray down onto both players, and I am glad that he's on our Vulcan team.
Yeah, karrigan's doing quite well. 19 for 10. Wait, did we go with cajunb and... Oh no, we got device in there as well, but actually the even spread on frags and assists and so on is not too bad.
It's very average across the team, which is good.
Okay, so 13-7, and Flipside, their money is not good. They've actually had to force buy here. Simple has an AWP though. He's going to have to deliver for his team. They're going to go close. Oh no, the flash coming in at the perfect timing. Simple does not get the shot, and his teammate will die, and he is caught on the run, and that is a massive blow. And oh, that flash was so perfectly timed. Just 500 milliseconds slower, and then I think Simple would have gotten a kill there, and that could have made the difference, but instead it's a landslide. We got 1 player left, Markelov. He's going to try to run and save, But
I think the command is search and destroy for TSM here.
yeah, this is not going to be fun. So Markelov. 14-7. 2 more rounds for TSM. It was looking so good from Flipside. They were really coming back into this one. Of course, it didn't look as convincing as TSM's CT side, which looked way too strong. It just looked quite strong from Flipside, but now it's been broken. Now they're on eco. Now they're going to have to play for that overtime as they save into the round 22. And TSM might be expecting a potential force here. I'm not sure what they're expecting, but they are moving together for a play into B. A safe approach if they go there with no nades, and that's quite strong as well. Just a smoke and a flash. Gonna slowly smoke and flash as they move into the bomb site. And there's a nice little entry. There's a second one from cajunb. And the bomb plant will be going down without any further nuisance.
This round is already over, unfortunately, for Flipside. And TSM just looking for bonus money now. They've got the ranges all the way down mid, so definitely a gauntlet that Flipside are not going to win. Simple is the only person who could maybe get some damage in here, but cajunb with such a passive angle that even Simple can't find a kill. Match point, and many of them here for TSM, and broken money for Flipside. Orb coming out for Simple, being thrown over by WorldEdit, so that will allow Simple to get the armor and throw WorldEdit the M4.
So the last stand, the last ditch attempt here for Flipside. And, well, smoke on middle will prevent any aggressive plays there from Simple at the beginning. He'll have to reposition, and indeed, he's going to play defensively there from library side as TSM look to slowly try to force out grenades, slowly try to take control of the map. And already we're on 1 minute 20 seconds left, so 25 seconds have gone in the round, and they have apartments. They have banana, pretty much, and almost middle. So very fast map control from them.
Okay, so Flipside are kind of half pushed back, but Simple will demand his real estate once again. He's got his deeds, and he's coming to collect. But he's going to rotate round to the library area. Again, it's common that people stand on the table there, so if they get peeked, you can see dupreeh's on the AWP. They'll probably get legged if they're not fast enough, as opposed to being killed with the shot to the chest. And Simple's going to be looking for more blood. And he may find it soon enough if he keeps that angle onto Xyp9x, but he's going to come back into Arch and take down Device as well. TSM, 3 people left. And still enough time to do this, actually. dupreeh being boosted up, finds a frag into the pit. That's an important frag. Simple finding trades, however. Only cajunb remains, and that fire will not be enough to stop Simple from finding another frag.
He gets the full 5-man. That was really fun to just watch Simple slowly working on the entire lineup of their team. And that is a nice adaptation from him, just playing a quick aggression back into more passive defensive play, taking some small opportunities and timings to go for just an aggressive peak hero there to pick up the round safely for Flipside. 15-8 the score now as TSM have another buy to throw towards Flipside. And Simple's gone towards Banana this time. He's stuck behind the car though. Will they try to chase him down? Looking like they are slowed here by some good team flashes from Flipside as TSM will make their way up. So Simple again has netted them an early frag into the round, and he's rotating back towards the A side here. There's the peak. Oh, just keeping himself out of harm's way. Markelov only by a breadth of a hair in that scenario. And TSM, they look like they want to just execute simply into B here. Will they actually go for this?
Yeah, maybe they're reading the rotation for Simple. Maybe they just don't care. But they're preparing for it. They're a man down. But they've still got a bunch of nades in the bag here. Got one molly onto karrigan, which could go towards the new box. Or second oranges. We've got 2 smokes and 8 flashes. So we should see some blind Flipside players. In fact, Simple's going to be back and ready to fight. But again, all the flashes coming in now. And we've got blind players on both teams. And Markelov's ready to mount an offense. Trying to stop these pushes through the little gaps. Well, they're going to leave it down to dupreeh versus 3. And he's still got Simple to contend with, although that smoke's going to help him. Simple can't stop the plant from going down. He is searching for dupreeh. He's got Vlade in for support as well. And he will be eliminated before the third player comes in. Fire as a little bonus. And Simple with a good calculation there to take the round through the flames. 6 match points for TSM.
What percentage of damage is taken off when you're doing team damage?
What percentage of damage is taken off?
Yeah, because
you mean that you're doing less damage? I don't know.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, because I learned that it's 104 damage over 5 seconds, I think it was, or something like that. If you're standing in a Molotov, so you can't defuse in a Molotov basically. If you're a CT, and it's an enemy's Molotov. So I'm just wondering what percentage difference is there. I'm sure someone must know. But anyway, we have TSM looking for the entries into apartments here, and bondik will get forced backwards. So looking like they are going to just work into middle quite quickly. Got loads of players in apartments looking to spill out a boiler, in fact, and a couple out of balconies. So we're going to get a straight up A execute here from TSM. Again, no messing around, no playing it slow. They just want to break Flipside here, and they just need that one round, and they have the full money bonus soon enough to aid them in doing so. If they keep getting these bombs down, there will be consistent buys, but in comes the push. bondik, such a consistent defensive rifler for Flipside, able to disperse the angry TSM players back into quad, and they aren't going to do all that much here. Good spray down coming in from Blade, gets a device, and it's just 2 left now against the 4 of Flipside.
Zibnik's that flash, not going to do the job there, being seen, and Simple's had enough of bondik. He's just on rage mode now, killing everyone that he sees.
I have no idea.
But we'll finish off cajunb afterwards.
I have no idea.
Sometimes you're just in the zone, Dan. Somebody moves, you kill them.
He looked at him funny.
What did you say? What did you say?
You
Boom! My name is Simple. Let me make it simple for you. Too much Russian rock music. Another snap onto device. Remorseless. Merciless. So, it's going well for Flipside so far, but again, they are definitely, as a team, the glass cannon, because if they break once, that's going to be that. That's a wrap. Yeah,
I mean, it's very telling. The way that they've gotten back into this game is Simple. Simple going huge on a lot of shots, and that is often the story for Flipside. That is often their story, that Simple is the man. And when he plays really, really good, that's when they're going to win. And it's hard to play against it, because when he's hitting his shots with the AWP, well, if he's just really fast, it's like the fastest draw in the West or something. You know, you just can't do anything. You'll just die. And that's a free frag for his teams, giving them a good advantage to play from. So we're seeing this in some of the rounds here. So TSM, there's definitely ways to deal with this. They tried a straight up B execute. They tried then a straight up A execute with no slow round play, no waning away of CT grenades, no slow movements to take all the map and give fake options. So what are they going to go for here? They're going to go for more of the same. So far it's looking like they are playing a slower rounds, and maybe looking for map control on banana and apartments and middle before they make a move. Looks like they are taking the bomb back towards banana. Nana. I mean diggity. Actually, I think the Australians call it Nana. So they're going to walk in here. This could be pretty dangerous, actually. Sometimes teams just walk it in, play the contact execute. Well, it's going to be nades over for their teammates here. What are they going to get? A little bit blinded here. The smoke is down as well, but in they come. They will spot him. karrigan's going to get the trade. So TSM with an entry here. It's not gone this well for them for quite a while, and they only need one more round. So this could be it, unless Flipside have a really miraculous retake.
All right, stuck behind smoke off Flipside for the time being. 4 versus 4 retake for them. And dupreeh will be the first to fall. Only had 6 HP, going to get taken out through the smoke. There is a Molotov and bondik, which is coming out onto the site right now. Simple needs to check pull, but first he's going to take down device. Oh my god, he's killing everyone. But a 2-man spray down is going to change everything. karrigan now with another one. Finally gets traded. Where is the bomb? Bomb has been found, and Markelov will be able to pick up the AWP. There's actually a fair amount of money on the CT side, so while that was a colossal round in terms of frags for TSM, it wasn't enough to do the job there.
Well, Flipside are going to have to deal with another round just as dangerous, because again, the bomb went down, full money bonus here for TSM, so that means they're going to get 4,200 every time that they lose a round and get the bomb down, so only a 4,400 if they don't get the bomb down, so buys, and buys here for TSM, and Flipside had a close call there.
So TSM going for a full rush up mid, and that's going to be an early frag onto Blade in quad. Now the player on the balcony is stuck, but Simple's going to try and protect him for now. Trades coming in from Simple, taking down 2 while bondik falls on quad. So 3 versus 3. Shock and awe here from TSM. And it's going to be a long rotation up banana from one of the B players. And Simple is just going in Terminator style, seek and destroy. Pit is going to be smoked off from mid. But they're running out of time to do this. Oh, Simple, he was just a second away from pulling the trigger there, but not fast enough at the 2 out frag device. So he gets another frag onto Markelov. Only WorldEdit remaining, and that is going to be that. TSM take it with a fast push towards the A site, 16 to 12 a flip side.
Yeah, that was really, really nicely done. That's really strong too. I mean, we saw that can just generally be strong, like a really fast timing, especially when the CT op is afraid to peek mid in their round for some reason, which seems to be the case because Simple didn't peek at that time, and he's been showing peeks all over the place. That's actually kind of the strength of Simple's style, because you're afraid to do anything basically, because you're like, if I try to do this, maybe Simple can be there and I'll die. If I try to do this, like this, you get constant paranoia that Simple's like hiding under your bed in your closet or something. That he's just gonna pop out when you're asleep.
You're gonna give people nightmares now.
I know it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. So
people just like going for like a midnight snack, just get taken out by the fridge, you know, through the window.
But yeah, that's the point though. So what is cool about that play is that they just went and they just did it. But also, if this side, although they didn't show that they did it once in that CT half, if they actually go for the banana 3-man banana play to take banana, then that's like a really heavy counter strat to that. So hey, TSM did it. Looked fairly convincing on the CT side. Definitely much better result from Flipside CT side, but definitely some work to be done on the T sides. Again, it feels like Flipside have so much potential in if they just like sort out everything. If they sort out their T side in that game,
yeah,
then they could definitely have taken it because their CT side was good enough.
Yeah, I feel like they were definitely solved by karrigan and co there, especially karrigan's individual play around the banana bomb site. Just massive frags there, really important frags. But there we go. So we are going to be headed to our second game of the evening soon. But do not forget, there will be a raffle for 3 chroma cases, which will be open to everyone in the chat, subscribers and non-subscribers alike. Dan.
Alright guys, we got Envious and TSM up next on Cash. We will take a moment whilst we have we'll have the setup of that match, the map for you guys. Cash is going to be interesting. I can't wait. Envious has been very explosive, so you guys can't wait as well. So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to go to break, and you guys can enjoy the raffle.